Welcome to the PMDG 737 NGX tutorial. First thing we're going to do is we want to make sure you have the correct weather setup. So make sure the wind is 0 because that will be crucial for the VNAV functions of this airplane. Next we're going to head into the cockpit. We're going to make sure if we're in cold and dark, we're in cold and dark. If you're not in cold and dark, what you can do is you go to PMDG setup, handle state load, and then click on NGX cold dark. What it'll do is it'll display a bar at the top saying initializing. Please make sure that's done until messing with the airplane. And next thing we have to do is we have to load our fuel. We are going to have pounds of fuel, 15,671. And then reserves, that is our total fuel. And then payload. So so just make sure these are both 1600. And then for this we want around 115. So you're going to add 108 to here, and then return. And next we're going to go into ground connections and just connect the external power. Alright, so first thing we're going to do in the overhead panel is make sure the battery's on, standby power auto, and then just flick on the ground power. Next we need to go make sure turn on our IRSs. So we go to nav. And then we need to go down back to our CDU into our FMC. And position and initialization. Just grab the GPS position, set it that. And then we can set our reference airport, which is Los Angeles International Airport. KLAX. Now this will be the time of the flight where you open up the doors and get connected to the jetways and open up all your doors, cargo doors, do all your things. But since we're not going to be doing that this flight, we'll just continue on. And that will bring us back into the cockpit, which we'll turn on our emergency exit lights. And then passengers and no smoke. And then our window heat, I get all 4 on. Make sure our pitot heat or pro heat is off for now. And then next we're going to verify trim air is indeed on. Recirculation fan switches both set to auto. Packs either at auto or high, which is auto for now. Isolation valve open. And the engine bleed switch is on. And the next stage of the flight is the cruise altitude, which we're going to be at 28,000. And our landing altitude. Our landing altitude will be 2,180 feet. It's 2,150 short. Next our lights. Logo on, position steady, anti-collision, make sure they're off, and wing illumination you can either on or off, but since it's daytime we'll just use the off position. Okay, so now's the time of flight where we set up our FMC. So let's go to our route, KLAS, and then we're going to fly Las Vegas, which will be KLAS. Choose our departure and arrival. Departing 24 left, loop 6, and translate. And as we're arriving, we're taking clear 2 and ILS 25 left along with the transition of the engine. all discontinuities. That looks fine. And so now to our new reference. So fuel weight, that, and then our reserves should be, just put in 9. And cost and base. 80 and cruise altitude that. Rotate. Execute. And one limit, we're not going to be using this, any D-rates. This would be if you have like a noise abatement procedure at nighttime, but you don't need to use that. And then flaps 5. And then let's get our trim. That's our trim, we're going to be entering that in a little bit. And then V1, and then dry runway, no wind, okay, and just activate that. So now our FMC is set up. Okay, so now we're going to be setting, just turning this to radio, and making sure it's at 50, which will be our minimum altitude. Then we set a course, 2 force. 0 on auto throttle. Both flight director switches on, this will be very important for our landing. And then here we're going to grab our V2 speed, which was 142. And then for here, our altitude, we're just going to put our cruise altitude. We normally put the first altitude ATC clears you to, but since we are not using ATC, we can just put our cruise altitude and let the VNAV bring us right out there. Without having to keep resetting the MCP up. And the VNAV, on VNAV. And if LNAV is on, yes it will. And quick note about LNAV, you can only arm LNAV on the ground according to the FCOM if your first point after departure is within 5 degrees course heading of the wind. So now FMC is telling us that it's not going to be able to make the next altitude, that's fine. And since we're going to be starting our engines in order, we're just going to make sure our parking brake is set. And now we're going to start the APU. Turn on every fuel pump. And right now, this would be the time where we close all our doors. And then we're now going to wait till the APU turns on. But the APU bleed we can turn on now, but once this light comes on, it's going to use the APU start, we're going to switch to APU power, and then we can remove the ground power. Up. Right, started. So now we are fully running off the APU power, and we can disconnect the external power, which will do again. Alright, so now we're just going to go to menu, FSX, phone connection, and what we can just do is simply remove the wheel chocks, and that will disconnect every ground thing. And just go outside and see how the yellow and blue checks, which are they're beginning flight, they're no longer. And we are parked with our parking. And so then we're going to turn on the electric hydraulic pumps. Anti-collision on. And geometry, which is right here. And now we can go into the cockpit and verify that our speed brake is down, which it is. And then we're also going to set our trim, which we get right here, which is 5.06. So just a tad past 5, which is verify park brake is on. And auto brakes should be set to reject the tape, which it is right now. And then we want to show N2s on our primary side, on the ICAS primary side. Okay, we can now, well, we're going to do is we're going to start both engines at the gate. Instead of pushing back, we'll start the first engine and start the second engine right before our taxi. We're just going to start at the gate just for ease. And first thing we do is we need to set the engines to ignition mode. And we're going to start engine 2 first. And turn that to the ground. And then we're going to be watching its N2. And make sure our packs are off. And once F2 has passed 15, we can now give it fuel. We're going to be waiting for is the click, which just came right there, that the start switch is turned off automatically. And then that is the engine 2 start cut out. And we can start engine 1. Again, we're going to be looking at the N2. Actually my mistake earlier, instead of 15 we went to 25. And there we go. And then we're going to be getting ready for our pushback. Alright, so this looks good, so we just want to turn our nose 90 degrees to the right. Okay,
and ground cockpit.
Go ahead, Captain.
We're all set to go up here. We've been cleared to push and start at your discretion.
Roger that, ready for push. Power and air are clear, doors closed, we are ready for pushback. Release parking brake, please.
Okay, parking brake is off, cleared to push.
And now we're going to fast forward to and now we're going to be doing our before taxi procedures. Turn on the generator for the engines. And we're also going to turn on the POP. And then wing anti-ice, since it's not called wheel wing or engine anti-ice, we can also turn on the wing but since we don't. We also want the packs to go to auto and the isolation valve back to auto. And AP we'd switch it off. And then now we can turn off the engine completely, which would be okay. And then engine start switches to continuous. And we also need to set our flaps now. So let's go to virtual cockpit and function it. And also, now we can turn on our taxi lights. And we're going to start our taxi at runway 24. Okay, so now we're ready to take off. Turn on your strobe lights. Fixed wing lights are on. Runway turn off. Turn them on too. Also, we're going to set